Here's our problem string. And as you look at the problem string, you'll notice that the problems have a connection. They're related in some way. And the aim of this problem string is to focus students on a particular strategy. And that strategy in this case is to get to a friendly number. And I'll come back to that. Okay, so let's have a look at how it's structured. A problem string has helper problems. And those helper problems are designed to cue students in, to give them an idea of the type of strategy we're looking to develop in this problem string. So we write the first problem up on the board and we ask our students to solve that, and they can then put their thumb in front of their chest to signal that they've got the answer. And in this case, it's going to be pretty quick. It's a fairly simple problem to solve. And they could then say 36 plus 4 equals 40. Okay, and we could represent that and put 36 on our number line, and then a small jump plus 4 gets us to 40. We could here point out the fact that 40 is a multiple of 10. And that's really important in this problem string, multiples of 10. Next we move on to the second problem, 36 plus 15. And we have our students working that out. They can work on their board, they can work mentally, and they put their thumb in front of their chest when they've got their answer. And we can just move around the room and just check answers until we have some sort of consensus on what the answer is. Here, what we're hoping for and what we're nudging students towards is using that strategy of get to a friendly number here. And here we might nudge them by saying, is there anything that we've done previously that can help you with this problem? And so someone could say, a student might say, yes, there is. Okay, so what could we do? Okay, if we start at 36, we can do what we did before. We can do our small jump plus 4 that gets us to 40. And then we just have another 11 to go. So the strategy that we're modelling and nudging students towards here is that get to a friendly number. So that initial jump of the 36 to 40, so it's a nice friendly number to then work with, and then we're adding the remainder. Now it may be that when they get to the 40 that the students break the next part of the number into smaller parts to decompose it. That's okay. Over time, students will get to the stage where they're jumping in bigger chunks and there's no or less need to decompose. And next problem is 55 plus 5. And again, that should be fairly quick for students to solve. So we've got our 55 and we're adding 5. And that gets us to 60. Again, the strategy being get to a friendly number. So that's our helper problem. Then we have 55 and 18. So we've got our number line again, and we've got our 55. And we're trying to find out from our students how they worked out their answer. Okay, and they'll have a whole range of strategies, and that's okay, and you can capture those. But ultimately, we're nudging them towards more sophisticated or efficient strategies, and that's where we want to spend most of our time. So in this case, we're looking for 55. Okay, well, I can add 5. Like I did previously in the previous problem, the helper problem, which gets me to 60. And then it's a matter of how much have I got left. Now, for students who, again, have problems in terms of working that out, they could do something like, let's see, so we've got 55, we've added 5, okay, then they could add a 10. So what have we added so far? We've added a 10 and a 5, that's 15. That gets us to 70. And then we've just got to add another 3, so just a small jump there, which gets us to 73. So in that case, the student needed to decompose in smaller parts. That's okay. You may have another student who then says, okay, I've got 55. I do my jump of 5. That gets us to 60. And then they know, okay, well, I've taken 5 off the 18, so I've got 13 to go. Okay, so they can do the big jump of 13, which gets us to 73. Over time, you're hoping and encouraging and nudging them towards making, bigger jumps, okay? But initially, you're going to see students doing smaller jumps. The final problem in the string often doesn't have a helper problem. And so this is an ideal situation where you can ask the students what would be a really good helper problem for 64 plus 18. So the obvious helper problem would be 64 plus 6. So let's solve 64 and 18. I'm going to use my helper problem, and again we prompt our student, is there anything there that can help you? Is there anything in the problem string, something we've solved previously that you can use to help you with this current problem? We keep nudging them with that, encouraging them to use the problem string, the helper problems. So we do our 64, and then we're going to do our small jump, get to the nearest 10, the nearest friendly number, which gets us to 70. Okay, then I need to work out how much more do I need to add. Okay, well I've added 6, so I can take that away from the 18s. That means that I've got another 12 to go. That's like a double of the 6 there. So that gets us to 82. So what do you do if they don't use the strategy that you're looking to promote, to encourage them to use? What if you ask, did anyone use one of the helper problems to assist you with this problem? And you look around and there's only maybe 1 or 2 hands, and the majority, it's thumbs down or hands down. No. Here you want to focus the class, focus them on that desired strategy, the one that you're targeting. Focus on that. You want to amplify that. You want to give lots of space and time to that strategy. That means encourage the students who are using that strategy to talk about it, to explain it to the class, while you represent their thinking on the whiteboard. And of course, we want our students to have a really positive attitude towards maths. We want them to have a really positive attitude towards reasoning and explaining their ideas and their thinking, and to think of themselves as reasoners. We want them to build their bank of mental strategies. So for all of those reasons, we want to work knowledge, we want to represent their strategies. It's just that we're not going to give lots and lots of time to those strategies in this problem string. Okay, we can come back to those at another point.